Hillary Clinton and her inner circle seem to be doing a whole lot of finger pointing. Now, I understand it's kind of heartbreaking when you lose a close election, 40,000 voters if they had changed in those 3 Rust Belt states, and she'd be the next president. The press, you would expect to be doing a lot of analysis and commentary on what's happened to the Democratic Party, because now with Hillary Clinton losing, Republicans controlling both houses of Congress, Republicans having won a number of governorships, this is a really bad situation for the Dems. And there's been some of that, but I think that Donald Trump and his transition and his Twitter and his cabinet picks and all of that have so overwhelmed the media environment that this whole other area about the Clinton defeat has kind of almost vanished into history. So here you have Hillary Clinton herself telling a bunch of rich donors in Manhattan that Vladimir Putin had a personal beef with her, and that was the reason for the hacking, but which is also was an attack on our democracy. Now, both things may be true. It may well be true that Putin wanted to see Donald Trump win. Trump was talking about a more cooperative relationship with Russia, that he didn't like Hillary. And there's no question that the Russian hacking, if indeed it was Russian hacking, had some effect. But I don't think it's what caused Hillary Clinton to lose the election. Bill Clinton talked to a local reporter up there in the Chappaqua area, and he said a couple things. One, that Donald Trump doesn't know much, says the former president, but he knows how to get the votes of angry white men. Interesting that Bill would say that, because Bubba knew how to get the votes of rednecks, and I say that in the most charming possible way, and that's part of why he was successful as a more moderate Democrat, as opposed to the liberals in the party when he won in 1992 and 1996. Bill Clinton also blamed James Comey. And again, you know, in a close election, you can pick any one thing and say, well, this is the reason that the election turned the other way. It didn't help Hillary Clinton's candidacy that Comey, after having cleared her 2 weeks before the election, came out and said he was re-examining the whole situation because of what turned out to be nothing in the FBI's view. Lots and lots of emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop because of Abedin and the estranged marriage there. But, you know, 2 points on this. One is that if Hillary Clinton hadn't used a private server, there would have been no Comey investigation. And secondly, did that move so many votes? Did it remind people of why they didn't like Hillary Clinton? You know, it's kind of an impossible question to answer. And finally, Vanity Fair reporting that a lot of unnamed Democrats in the Clinton orbit are blaming Abedin or other members of the inner circle for what was a very cautious campaign. But that gets a little closer to what really happened here. Hillary Clinton didn't have a strong message other than Donald Trump is kind of crazy and I'm not Donald Trump. She didn't, as you know, campaign in Wisconsin, only went to Michigan at the end, you know, just assumed that she would win those Rust Belt states, and that turned out to have been the election. She didn't really have much of a core message either for the working class white voters who probably gave the election to Donald Trump, or just about anyone else. I mean, she had lots of position papers, but she was never able to boil it down. And she was so hyper cautious. And lots of people coming out now and saying, well, I asked her to be on my show, but she just wouldn't do it. Rachel Maddow, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow, said she tried throughout the whole campaign to get Hillary Clinton to come on. And there are lots of other examples of that. So Hillary ran a hyper-cautious campaign, didn't have a strong message, didn't campaign in the key Rust Belt states, and in a changed election, she was sort of the incumbent, the status quo, the third term for President Obama. That's why she lost. All this other stuff, it's fun or entertaining or interesting to point the fingers and look at the Russians and Putin and Comey and all of that. But it came down to the fact that Donald Trump won this election and Hillary Clinton lost it because she ran a lousy campaign.